Hey there, we're talking about harmonic dictation today. So 4-part settings of the tonic triad is what this is called in Horvit, Koozin, Nelson. So we're looking at how do we hear 4 notes and distinguish them from all the others. In this exercise, it's 3 measures. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about the rules and how we're going to make this happen. So here's our example, right? The grand staff. We're in the key of C. There's no key signature, time signature, and then we've got our tonic triad here. Tonic triad meaning we have the 1, the 3, and the 5 of the chord, the do, mi, and so. Now this says the tonic triad is presented with all the possibilities of soprano line motion, meaning do, mi, and so. Since all the chords are in root position, you can easily fill in the bass line. So all the chords are not only outlining the tonic triad, but they're in root position. So chances are we're going to have a bunch of C's here, and it's up to us to decide if they're going to be this C or that C or the low C. Okay. Listen for the direction of the soprano line. What is the melodic interval from one note to the next? Okay. Remember, right now, our options are do, mi, and so. So is it going to go from do up to re? No, that's not part of the C major chord. It has to be C, E, or G, do, mi, or so, the 1, the 3, or the 5. Since the soprano will itself outline the tonic triad, it should be easy to work out. Finally, fill in the inner voices, paying particular attention to the rules of part writing. So let's go over that one more time. Since all the chords are in root position, you can easily fill in the bass line. So that's what we're going to listen to first, is the bass line. Then listen for the direction of the soprano line, right? Does it go up? Does it go down? And does it go by step or by skip? Or in our case, does it go up to mi or up to so? Or does it go down to so or down to mi? Okay, or down to do? What is the melodic interval? Since the soprano will itself outline the tonic triad, it should be easy to work out. Finally, fill in the inner voices, the alto and tenor, paying particular attention to the rules of part writing. So this means rules of part writing mean that we probably won't have parallel fourths, and I don't think parallel fifths, right? There will be some motion that we need to be able to look at and see and say, is that natural? But we also need to look at and see if every chord has 2 1s, a 3, and a 5. Now, is it always going to be this way? No. But for almost every chord that we look at in sight singing 1, it is going to be as easy as 2 do's, a mi, and a so. Okay, so the rules of part writing mean we're not going to have one chord with a bunch of 3s and 1 5, right? That's not it. So we're typically going to double the tonic, and then we'll have one of everything else. On occasion, we may have 1 1 and 2 5s, but for right now, because we're learning this, we're almost always going to have 2 1s, a 3, and a 5. Now let's double check this, shall we? We've got a C in the bass, so that's 1 do gone. G, there's our so. E is our mi, so we got mi, the 3rd, and then do and the soprano voice. So we've got them all checked off, right? 1 1, 3, and 5. So let's go ahead and listen. I'm going to play the exercise in its entirety. And we're going to listen for first the bass line and next the soprano line. So if you think you can hear the bass and where it goes, then great, write it in, circle it in, put in small dots, write in do, 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 whatever. And then see if you can hear where the soprano line is going. So here we are. This might be a little cumbersome. Not very loud, I know, but here it is again. All right, so does it sound like we have a bunch of C chords? Yes. And we know that if I were to put an analysis under each one of these, it would be Roman numeral 1, right? C major, all the way, baby. So now, does the C ever change? Let's listen to it one more time, and we'll find out. Let me do that again. So I don't think it changes at all. I think it stays the same. So we get do, 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 do. And then this last measure is always going to be just a little shorter because it's the whole note. Shorter this way. All right, now what's the soprano doing? Is it going up or down or staying the same? And how far up and how far down? Here it is again. So it sounds like it's going up and then going back down. Da, 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 da. Okay, so is it going up to mi or up to so? Da, 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 da. So I find out by thinking in solfege, right? By going up the scale, do, re, mi, do, or by going da, da, oh, when the saints, okay, sweet hour of prayer. So I'm pretty sure it's a third. Let's listen one more time and find out. And so I think it is going do, mi, and after that, where is it going? Back to do. Da 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 da. Do so do is what it sounds like. Do so do. Are you sleeping, brother, brother John? Right? Ding ding dong. So if this is the case, now we've got the bass line, the soprano line, and now we do the inner voices. And we're going to see, where's the most practical way that it would go. Now, if we need a so, are we going to go from right here and go all the way up to this G? Probably not, right? Because it's not very likely. It's a long ways away. So we've got one do and one mi. So we need a 1 and a 5. We're missing a 1 and a 5. So we could have this do here. Or we could have this do come here. We'll go up to that door. This is not very likely. This is kind of likely. And then this stays the same. So either one of those options. Okay. Or it could go up. Chances are, if we feel everything shifting, it could be that all these are all shifting upward, which is very likely. Now we've got do and do. So now we're missing the third and the fifth, right? We've got two C's, we need a third and a fifth. So, and this is already hanging out around the 5. and this is already on the 3, so it could be the same exact chord, right? Now, is it possible that this stays the same and this goes down? Yeah, but then we've got, more than an octave in between notes, so it's not very likely. Possible, yes. Likely, no. So I'm going to guess that we're going back to the same chord that we had before. Now we're getting smaller, right? It should be easier to determine this. We have less options, fewer options to decide. We have a do and a so. Do and so. So we're missing a 1 and a 3. So we have this. We're really close to this 1. We're close to this 3. This is could stay on the 3, could go down to 1. So what's most likely? Well, I'm thinking because of this downward motion, it is very possible that we're down a third here and down a third here, right? So looking at this is pretty easy. That way we're going down a third, right? There's nothing too drastic. This one's up a fourth, okay, but there's nothing too drastic. And then the final chord, again, we've got 2 do's. We're missing a third and a 5. Well, it could be that this ends the exact same, okay? If it didn't, and this is an E and this is a G, then again we have a very open middle octave, so it's not likely. So I'm going to guess that this is where we're going back to. Let's have a listen. These are the rules of part writing, right? We need to have the 1, 1, 3, and 5. Do, do, mi, so. And then we can cross them off once we find them. So here we go again. All right, so the second chord sounds like everything moves up, right? Well, that's a dead giveaway, right? If we break it up, then we can hear do, do, right? So it sounds like everything has shifted upward. Okay, so now we just have to erase. Put in our stems so they're about an octave long. This was correct, by the way, what we had. All right. Now, 1, 1, 3, 5. Okay, so we're good. 1, 1, 3, 5. Okay. 1, 1, 3, 5. All right. 1, 1, 3, 5. Okay. So we've got it. So when we're doing this, the 1, 1, 3, 5 is a good rule to maintain. Okay, so keep that. Remember that. Don't forget, bass line is what we listen to first. Okay, this will help us with the analysis because pretty soon we have to figure out what the analysis is of the exercise, right? 1 going to what, going to what, going to what's possible, going to 5, going to 1. So it's always going to come back to 1 almost every time unless we're modulating. But after this, where's it most likely going to go? And once we've gone somewhere, how do we get back to 5 and back to 1? Okay, good work.